So a rather special occasion in Manchester, a Saturday night, a jam-packed Old Trafford witnessed the return of one of their heroes.
There's the breakthrough, right on time, and Manchester United take the lead, and guess who? Guess who indeed? Who else was there? 4 yards out, inside the 6-yard box, but number 7, Cristiano Ronaldo, to put the ball in the back of the net.
When I start the game, I was super nervous every single my name, but this crowd, it's unbelievable.
Amazing. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. Ronaldo was cleared back in Manchester United shirt on Saturday, and unsurprisingly back amongst the goals as he helped United beat Newcastle 4-1. The 36-year-old, back in red for the first time since leaving in 2009, opened the scoring in first half stoppage time and got his brace after the break. Jamie,
yeah,
I mean, it was always going to.
It was always going to happen. Wasn't it?
It was.
It's just written in the stars.
Do you know that way? There's inevitability about some things in life. Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United and scoring was one of them.
Yeah, he is. He's like that guy out of the Avengers, isn't he? Like, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It was. I've never been so excited about watching a game in a sort of a long time, actually. Yeah. Man United of old. It was nostalgic, Ali. It really was. It was nostalgic watching it. And I grew up Man United being the best team in the world at the time, and playing against them with like Ronaldo and the Rooneys, and it was almost like watching that again. I really enjoyed it. And he was awesome. He was absolutely awesome. I watched him for Juve, and he was very much sort of not static, but almost sort of in and around the box. Yeah. That's where he done his work, getting on the end of crosses, scoring penalties. But for Man United the other day, he was everywhere. Do you
think he just needed a fresh challenge?
Yeah. I think that sort of coming back, Ali, and like the sort of the atmosphere and that, and he's loved there, and he knows what it's like to play at Old Trafford. It's his home. He can't get away from that fact. It is his home, and just the way he was going past people, chopping players, showing his pace again. Yeah. And I'm thinking, wow, 36 years of age. It was incredible to watch.
I had to watch the highlights, so I know that you were working the game, so you got to watch the 3 o'clock, which obviously we have a blackout for. So I watched the highlights. So I was going to ask you about that, actually, the way that he linked up with everybody else, and what the impact he had on the other players around him.
He linked up with everyone more than I was expecting. He was demanding the ball from the first moment, and he actually said, and it was funny watching it, because in the first sort of 5-10 minutes he kept just asking for the ball for easy touches, like just give me a touch, I want to get on it. And you know what that's like, Ali, when you're playing in big moments, you need a couple of early touches. And I was watching it thinking, he looks a little bit sort of nervous. And he come out afterwards and said that he was nervous.
I love that.
And I love that, because that's someone who is almost sort of not human to come out and say, I was nervous. But he builds that nervousness and puts it into performance, and that's the difference with him. Some people would be nervous and shy away from the performance. He's nervous but says, right, he uses that and makes it adrenaline and makes him play even better. And he was absolutely fantastic all over the pitch, and he brought other players up to his level. The performances from everyone. Pogba was brilliant. Even Matic played really well. Sancho was good. Jesse Lingard, when he come on, it looked like he was a new lease of life. It looked to me like it was the Man United are back. And I have to say, I know I'm a Spurs. Spurs are not going to win the league, right? Spurs ain't win the league. I actually want Man United to win the league.
Wow.
I really do, because it that nostalgic feeling I had of Premier League years of Man United brought it all back watching them.
Well, obviously Spurs losing at the weekend has made you have to reconsider the fact that they're not going to win, and you've got to pick another title winner there. You mentioned Paul Pogba there, and I think this is quite important as well. Dave Ornstein tweeted earlier on, it's an exclusive, and he was saying that Paul Pogba is now leaning towards signing a new Manchester United contract. Saturday had a major impact on the 28-year-old's thinking over his future. Many factors to consider, but now a genuine chance that once talks start or resume, an extension may follow. So the impact to Cristiano Ronaldo, the team's performance, all that sort of stuff can have this knock-on effect.
I think what you realise, and I realised, what a monster Manchester United are. Just when Ronaldo's back, that sort of whole era's back. and you realise that Man United are still one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in the world.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ali? I mean, we were wondering, because I remember at the beginning of the season, we were still saying, before a ball had even been kicked, or maybe after one game before Cristiano Ronaldo came back to Manchester United, that actually City and Chelsea still look like they've got more in that team.
Yep.
Do you still feel that way?
I do, but would I be surprised if Man United mounted a challenge and went the full distance? No, because I think out of all the teams, you know, in terms of recruitment, City have obviously strengthened Grealish. I mean, Chelsea have made an unbelievable signing, by the way, and the big fella up front, and that he could be the difference. But you look at Manchester United, Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo. Just think of what we've just said there, those three players. I mean, that is absolutely phenomenal. Where Manchester United have, I think, struggled a little bit in the past, I don't think they've been anything like the quality of Manchester City. But I'm now looking at the goalkeeper, who is in a far better place than he was maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago, guys. I'm not sure whether you agree.
Yeah.
He looks in a far better place. But they look to me now, I know they never kept a clean sheet, but they look to me now as though they've got a back four that you could trust. You know, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire, Shaw, and the goalkeeper. That's quality. That is. Whereas before, I would always have one or two question marks against it, Jamie Woodsy. So have they closed the gap, and will they close the gap, Manchester United? Yes. Do I think they'll win it? I'm still leaning towards no.
Yeah.
But I tell you what,
they're going to be there.
Oh, absolutely. And so are Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. My only concern for Man United is that sort of defensive midfield role, because there were a few times when Newcastle got them on the counter attack, and Matic's good when he's got the ball, but without it, you look at it and go, you know, has he got that sort of mobility to get around the park? Harry Maguire dived in, and Varane dived in, and Newcastle got their goal. And actually, Newcastle, fair play to them, Ali, actually played okay. They defended really well. The keeper killed them for the first goal. But in the first half, they actually done all right, and had a couple of good chances in the second half. So,
Jamie, honestly, God, I look at Newcastle, right, and I think if they can get the best team out in the park, they ain't bad, particularly in forward areas. You know, I said Maximin's a player, Wilson's a player. You know, Willock will do with Almiron. They've got good players going forward, Newcastle. So I don't think, you know, I don't see a major problem. I know Brucey still get the problems, but I don't see major problems for Newcastle moving forward.
Other than Callum Wilson, because when he's not in, which he's not, and another thing that was reported on by Dave as well, is that it could be up to a month before we see him back. Do you think they've got enough depth?
Yes.
You do?
They've got enough to stay up. Is that what you're going to ask me?
No, just enough depth in their team. It's quite difficult to say depth. I almost did an Alan there.
I think without Callum Wilson, they'll struggle, because Joe Linton doesn't get enough goals. St. Maximin's out there on his own almost, just trying to make things happen. And he can make things happen on his own, by the way. But they need Callum Wilson in the team. They need to keep him fit. He's big for them. But
especially when you haven't made signings to cover that off, when you know that Callum Wilson has been plagued. I mean, I feel awful for him, but plagued by injuries throughout his career.
Yeah, and look, they just don't spend enough money, do they? I think they'll be okay. I think they'll stay up. But it's going to be a long season for Newcastle again, obviously. But I genuinely thought they done okay at the end. They played against the Man United team, for me, who are going to be right there at the end of the season, and that was a tough game. You know, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes stepping up with a worldie. It was his first game back. It's almost impossible to get a result.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.